Well, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining our book sale volunteer information session. We've designed this to try to help you get, sort of all set for volunteering next week at the book sale. And really, I think that, we want to start out by saying thank you, thank you, thank you. These kind of events, the book sales and other Friends of the Alameda Free Library events really cannot happen without volunteer participation, making sure that everything goes smoothly and that we have people, running the event. So let's see here. So of course, thank you for volunteering. We are just so appreciative. So today we're going to go over a few different things. In a moment, I'll introduce we'll introduce who we are. But we just want to say, welcome and thank you is the first thing from board members and staff of Friends of the Alameda Free Library. We'll give a little bit of information about what we call FAL, the Friends of the Alameda Free Library. We'll give an overview of the book sale. We'll share a little bit about each of the volunteer roles at the sale, some tips and tricks for being a successful volunteer at the sale. We'll also share a video with you that shows you like the proper way to box up books. It's helpful both as you're sort of unpacking things, as if you're later one of the people who helps with taking down the event, or if you end up volunteering throughout the year to help with book sorting and book donations, and packing up books that for future sales. We will have time at the end for Q&A that you can put into either the chat or the Q&A function, and we can answer them that way. Um, yeah, we're happy to answer everything, and we will send out a copy of this presentation and of the video afterwards in case you ever want to go back and look at anything for any information. So first, to get us kicked off, we want to introduce those of us who are who are helping sort of lead this webinar. I'll introduce myself and then each person can come off mute and introduce themselves. My name is Joanne Schneider. I'm an Alameda resident, a board member of Friends of Alameda Free Library, and I'm on the team that, or the committee that works on putting the book sales together. I'll pass it to Marcy. You're the next person in the screen for me.
Good evening. I'm Marcy Soslow, and I assist as a board member with FAL, as well as in Books for Friends, our small bookshop that I hope most of you know about already and have visited and shopped in. And I'll pass to Billy.
Unmute yourself, please, Billy.
Okay. I'm Billy Reinschmidt. I'm the event manager for the book sale. Also help with donations for the book sale. And basically we'll be in charge of the event starting on Wednesday and through Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Billy will actually be starting on Tuesday with some of the setup even before volunteers are there. So he is a wonderful, dedicated manager. And Karen, you want to introduce yourself as well?
Sure. My name is Karen Butter, and I'm president of the Friends of the Alameda Free Library. And I just want to second what Joanna said, that we are delighted that you are supporting FAL and working the book sale. And as Billy and Marcy know, we have thousands of books, and I've been processing many, many, many children's books as well. So we are really excited to have people come and buy, and particularly to have all of your assistance in making sure that their purchases are successful and they buy as much as they can. So thank you, and I look forward to seeing everybody at the sale.
Yeah. And so, the four of us are here, and you will see us throughout the sale at different times. There are also other FAL board members and other volunteers who help, with the book sale, with making it, sort of making it all happen with the marketing and everything. So yeah, we look forward to seeing you at the sale. So a little bit about Friends of the Alameda Free Library. We've been around since 1974. We are a nonprofit organization, a public charity. We have 10 board members who, do a lot of different roles in running the organization. What our whole purpose is all about supporting the library, really about raising funds to support the library so the library can do programming and to, purchase books and all kinds of different things that the library needs. Our mission is to raise funds and advocate for the success of the Alameda Free Library. And as part of raising those funds, we have these used book sales as well as the sales through the Books for Friends bookstore in the library. And in last year, over 2024, through those sales of used books, whether in the bookstore or through these sales that we have 3 times a year, over $40,000 was raised that can go towards programming at the library and other needs of the Alameda library system. Some of the programming that that FAL has supported at the library includes the incentives for the Summer Reading Challenge. If adults and children can participate in that summer reading program, and there are lots of sort of things to keep you motivated, and a lot of that comes from FAL purchasing those. There's supper and support programs at the library where monthly there are programs focused on different social services that people can attend and have a great meal and also learn about services they can access in the city of Alameda. There's additions to, the library's collections that that obviously the librarians are making decisions about what's important to add, both physical, books and resources and ebooks. And in the past year, they also purchased these things called take and make kits, which are kits that folks can borrow from the library to do things like astronomy or baking or other kind of STEAM activities. I think there's sewing, there's a whole bunch of different ones. Pretty cool. Other equipment for the library over time, the FAL has supported that. And then special programs, having performers or at the different branches of the library, different events that the library hosts. Those are just a taste of the kinds of things that FAL has helped support the library to be able to do. And FAL itself runs programs. These are mostly, like fundraisers for to eventually benefit the library. We have the used book sales, which is what we're talking about today. And this year there will be 3 of those, the first of which obviously is next week, but you can save the date for the other ones, the May and October ones. Books for Friends, the bookstore that runs year-round, selling used books that are in really good condition. It's inside the main library. The Books for Friends, you'll also be able to visit that during the book sale. The cafe that's in the library is also a program of FAL. And then we run some cultural programs, Friends at Home, where there's some of that where it's virtual, where we have docent talks, art docents, authors, things like that. We've also had Live at the Library, which was a jazz music series and other music series at the library. And then we do fundraising appeals, directly raising money for the library, sometimes just in general, or sometimes we run specific campaigns. So I will pass it on to Marcy to tell you a little bit more specifically about the book sale.
Hi again. So our used book sale overview, we run a larger sale, and some of you may have lived in the community. We were at the O Club. The O Club became cost prohibitive for us, as well as a big toll on the amount of volunteers we needed. So we now run 3 sales a year in the Stafford room and cafe space of the main library. Each sale lasts 3.5 days, so we have added, because we found that it was very popular to have an evening time for people who work and can't get to the library on Thursday or Friday. So we run from Wednesday evening all the way through Saturday, and on Saturday we have our famous $5 bag of books. For every bag of books you charge $5. We know that the proceeds this is our main fundraising event, and we look to make anywhere from $3,000 when we first started running the event to as high as $6,000 per sale, and that adds up over time, including our proceeds that we're making at Books for Friends. All the books are donated, and all the staff time to do the sales is volunteer. That's why you're here. And that makes it beneficial to the library because all those dollars and cents go directly to the programming. We use over 150 volunteers over the course of a year, so you're a part of that, and we could not do the sales without you. We do accept year-round book donations at the same space that BFF is in on Sundays from 1 to 3. Some Sundays we're closed. So for example, we'll be closed the Sunday after the big sale because we have a lot of cleaning up and organization to do with the books. And we're using the same volunteer base to do the donations as we are to run the shop and do the sorting many times. So we just give ourselves a little break. And sometimes on holidays, we don't accept. If you're interested, you can stop in the store and find out how to make an appointment to donate. And you can also check our website to ensure that whatever you'd like to give us is something that we can accept, use, and resell to the public. Book sorting is something that happens once we go through the books and determine that they are going to be used for the used book sale. They're sent to a warehouse in Building 6 on Alameda Point. And we are always looking for volunteers on Tuesday or Friday mornings. They're alternating. So it's every other Tuesday, every other Friday. So once a week sorting things you can sign up for. And we're currently searching for a leader for Tuesdays because our current leader, Kim Buckley, who's also the person who would have sent out the email to you to sign up to volunteer for this purpose, she will be moving and leaving Alameda in June. And we're very sad to lose her, but we are looking for help. So please, after the sale, during the sale, please think about other opportunities to volunteer and sign up. And we'll send you the slide deck so you'll have the link on how to get involved when we send it out. For February, we're setting up on Wednesday, 2/5, February 5th at 10:30 to 2. Wednesday evening will be open for sale from 3 to 7. We have a special $5 bag for teachers or educators or people who work in the school system. And then our daytime hours for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday are 10 to 4. And we'll be closing down the sale starting at 3:30 on Saturday, and that will take us to about 6 p.m. Billy has really gotten this down to a science with people helping to move the books. It's a lot of physical labor. So if you sign up to do that, thank you very much. And again, that the video that Joanne mentioned previously, please do pay attention to the video. We'll also send you the link post this presentation so you can review. Because the better we pack the books, the more secure it is for storage for the next sale. The Wednesday sale, evening sale is open to everyone. So in the past, if you are a former shopper, you may have understood that there was a private time when the sale would be open. That's no longer the case. It's open to everyone to shop. It's just that teachers get that $5 bag. On the last day of the sale, everybody gets $5 bags. The cafe is going to be open during the sale for the same parallel hours, as well as Book for Friends. And for Books for Friends, we always offer a buy one, get one of equal or lesser value for free. So that means any book you buy in Books for Friends, you can get a second book for free if it's equal or lesser value, and there's no maximum. So you could buy, and we do have a lot of folks who come in and buy upwards of 20 to 30 books, and that would be good for as many books as you can find in the shop.
Okay, on to Billy to explain different volunteer roles. Thank you, Marcy.
Okay, the book movers basically is where we load up a U-Haul and haul the books over from the warehouse space to the Stafford room. This basically involves a lot of lifting of the boxes and moving them to the truck. And then once we get to the Stafford room, we take them to the tables in the Stafford room based on the genres that are marked on the boxes. Again, this is a labor-intensive process, and we're always looking for good help for this. Setup assistance, basically, once we get the boxes to the warehouse, we organize them on the tables by genre, and the setup assistants basically unpack the boxes and arrange the books on the appropriate tables. We have bookends that we put the books out for, and then take the boxes out of and put them under the table for boxing up at the end of the sale. We also will sometimes have additional boxes that we can't get on each table that we will open up and put under the tables and then restock the tables as the books get purchased. We can go on to the next slide. The table monitors basically monitor the tables as the people shop. So it's basically arranging the tables, keeping them neat and orderly, and then also moving the books from under the tables that may be extra and putting them on the table and restocking the tables as the books are sold. Book setters, it's basically like a coat check. So as people are shopping, if they fill up a bag or box or whatever they've got that they're using for the sale, they can take them to the book setter. They'll be assigned a number that matches the books that they put into store, and then once they're through shopping, they can go back, gather up all the things that they've purchased, and then take them to the book counters and the cashiers. So it's a way to facilitate people so that you don't have the books laying around and people going through other people's bags. Okay. The book counters, basically, we will have a posted chart that shows the cost for the books and examples of what size of books and things that we're talking about for purchase. Hardbacks are $3, large paperbacks are $2, small paperbacks are $1, and then children's books are 50 cents each, and CDs and DVDs are $1 each. And on the right, you see this will be what the book counters basically assign numbers to for the cash for the purchasers to take to the cashier and quickly total up what they owe. If I'm missing anything here. Also, the book counters, we usually try to, go ahead.
No,
go. The other thing that we try to do is as the book counters, as the people bring the books in, we try to find out how they heard about the sale and then cross promote the bookstore too, so that they know that the sale is also going on in the bookstore, which is located right behind where the book counters sit. So we try to cross market from the bookstore to the sale as much as we can, just to let people know that the bookstore is there and that there's a buy one get one free process. This is the pricing guide that will be posted outside the Stafford room, which basically shows what the books cost. We sometimes will get a confusion of people thinking that teens and tween books are also children's books. So we try to reiterate that the children's are 50 cents and teens and tweens are fit within the regular other process guide for the large and small paperbacks, that type of thing. I think that pretty much covers the book counters. The other thing I will stress too is that if there is a conflict of people complaining or not understanding the pricing, we don't want to get into a fight over the pricing because these are all donated. So we don't want to make a big deal out of this, but we do want to try to keep people within the lines of what the pricing guide is. Okay. The cashiers basically will take the tally form from the book counters, and then they will check out. The cashiers will ask the shopper if they would like to make a donation to FAL and again, cross promote the bookstore. The cashier basically adds what the shopper owes, including the donation amount, and checks them out using an electronic point of sale system. They can pay with cash, credit cards, or check. They also can use bookstore coupons that they may have. They can also use that. The registers will be closed out after each cashier shift. And we have cashiers basically set up and already signed up. This particular function takes a little bit of more training and using the POS system. So most of the cashiers are very experienced at this, and hopefully it keeps the process moving through for the purchasers. Again, the cashiers typically have volunteered for the Books for Friends, so they're very familiar with the checkout systems. And so that basically checks the cashier position.
Okay, thank you, Billy. I think those are all the positions.
Okay.
And Marcy, you can talk a little bit about tips for volunteers?
When you, if you want to sign up for a shift, we're doing that through a website. And if you need help with that website, you can reach out to a board member that you may know or a fellow volunteer. And if this is the first time that you're signing up, you're going to have to please create a profile and sign a waiver. So we're asking everyone to do that. And I want to tag on to what Billy said previously. If you're interested in becoming a cashier for the used book sale, the best opportunity and training to do that is to either become a regular volunteer in the cafe space or the Books for Friends space, because we all use the same Square POS system. When it's time to go, please arrive a few minutes before your shift. There'll be a volunteer check-in table. It'll be staffed by a board member. If you have any interest in finding out about becoming a board member, or you have any questions about the organization, that's a good time to ask those. So for example, if your shift starts at 10, come at 9:45. But if it starts before regular library hours, you'll have to enter in the gray door in Times Way, which is the little side alley that's in between Park and Oak Street. Shifts are scheduled back to back, so we ask for some flexibility in helping orient the new person who's coming in and staying, so in case that person needs any information transferred from your shift to the next person, that will be helpful. If you have to cancel a shift, we understand everyone has last minute needs or emergencies that arise. Just please get in touch with us and let us know. The correct person to get in touch with is Kim Buckley. She's extremely accommodating and kind. So please, if you have any trouble, just reach out to her. And we are also advising you to wear comfortable shoes. Some of the shifts will require you standing or walking around, and we want you to be comfortable, dress comfortably, and be able to do your shift without having any problems.
I also would like to tag on one thing too, of when you arrive for the shift. On Wednesday, the library does not open until noon. So you will need to enter through the Times Way door that's in the alleyway in the alleyway. So that door will be open. So if you're an early morning, or if you're on the sign up for the setup, you'll have to enter through there because the doors at the library won't be open until noon. That's Wednesday only.
So we do still have some volunteer shifts to fill. So if you haven't signed up, please go ahead and get signed up. If you know other people who might want to volunteer, please, encourage them to sign up. Please help us spread the word about volunteering and about the sale as well. You can see FAL has a Facebook page and an Instagram account. And we have posts on there about the book sale with the book sale flyer on there. You can share those on your social media. We really appreciate your help sort of spreading the word to any networks and friends and family that you'd like to. We're now going to take a moment.
Wait a minute, 1 second, Joanne. There was a
Yes, please.
question about what kind of questions do shoppers ask?
Sometimes they ask, at least, well, I'll answer, and then anyone else can, since all of us have experience being at the sales, others can add on. What I mostly find is people asking where to find like a certain genre. There are very clearly labeled, like, sci-fi or romance or fiction or autobiographies. And though sometimes if they're not as familiar with the setup, they'll ask where you can find those things. And so as you're arriving for your shift, you can kind of look around and see where the different genres are. Sometimes people ask where to check out. And so you can direct them, sort of where they go when they want to check out, and direct them first to the book counter area, since that's the first step in that. Sometimes we get pricing questions, even though there will be some pricing guides around the sale, but they might ask about that. Occasionally they ask also if they could volunteer, or how to do that. And then you can send them to whoever is staffing the volunteer registration table to answer those questions. Or they'll ask like how they can donate books. We occasionally get people who want to donate them right there during the middle of the sale. So it's better if you send them to the board member to explain sort of the donation process. Any other questions that you guys get frequently?
I think one question we get frequently is how much do items cost? So with Billy's guide, that's a great place to go. And I also want to emphasize that if you can't answer a question, just send them to the sign-in table and someone there will be able to assist you.
Yeah, I mean, occasionally people also ask like where the proceeds of the sale go, and you can explain that you can either send them to the board member who's at the volunteer registration, or you can, or volunteer check-in, or you can, you can say that all the money goes to support programming at the library.
There was another question that came in for the post-sale book mover shift. Are we just loading up the U-Haul or also unpacking at the warehouse, asking for transportation planning purposes or context? I think that's a Billy question.
We basically, the warehouse, we're basically moving the boxes from the warehouse to the truck, and then from the truck to the tables at the Stafford room. There is a setup shift that's scheduled for the Stafford room that will unpack the boxes and put them on the table. So basically, the book movers are primarily physically transporting the books and moving them from the warehouse stacks to the tables in the room. They're very welcome to hang around and open up the boxes and put them on the tables also. So we do that a lot. I mean, a lot of the people that help move sometimes are on the setup shift off also. So, but the book movers primarily to physically move the box.
Yeah, but the
boxes.
It's the
people who
other
are
way.
doing that, but hold on one sec. The people who are doing that, they drive to a meeting point at the warehouse. And then when Billy drives the U-Haul to the library, they drive themselves to the library and then help there. So they do need some sort of transportation. But then Billy, at the end of the sale, when people help pack up whatever books are left and help put them into the U-Haul, do they also go to the warehouse and help unload at the warehouse? I think that was part of it.
There is a sign up specifically for moving the books at the end of the sale. A lot of the people who do move the books help move them back to the warehouse are also there doing the tear down because it's boxing up the bookends, all sorts of things. So basically, we use the truck at the end to basically take everything that needs to go back to the warehouse. So a lot of the people that are on the book moving shift will also be there to help with the tear down. And then there's also a tear down crew that basically helps box the boxes, take all the signage down and all that are part of a tear down crew, which aren't involved with going to the warehouse. And then again,
So
the
if
same
you
thing with
sign
the
up for
warehouse.
Mhm.
It's the same thing with when we move the book boxes back, whoever's helping unload at the warehouse will follow us out to the warehouse, or we'll caravan out there and then they can leave from the warehouse once we're through unloading the truck.
I think the question was, how do they get, once they're at the warehouse, if they don't have a car there, how do they get back to wherever their car is or wherever they live?
Well, usually usually they'll follow us out there, or we can, people drive out so they can ride with others, and then we can make arrangements to get them back to the it's usually they provide their own transportation, but if we do need to, double up and make sure people can get where they are, we can make arrangements for that.
Yeah, but we don't in the morning, for the people who are helping do the book moving in the morning, you meet at the warehouse. So
They
you would
meet,
have to be able to get yourself to the warehouse.
correct.
Karen, do you see other questions?
No, that's it,
Okay.
I think, for now.
I
Okay, well,
wanted
we're
to,
gonna-
Joanne, can I just add one more question that we sometimes get is, and I hope that we get often at every sale, is how do we make a donation? And there will be a tip jar that we use for cash donations, and anyone at the checkout stations or in BFF can make a donation that way when they're closing their sale.
Thank you, Marcy. So we're going to share a video now about packing the boxes, and you can think if you have other questions, we'll have a time right after the video to answer those. So, you can be.
Hi,
Mhm.
I'm Billy Reinschmidt,
Yeah.
manager of the Friends of the Alameda Library book sale. I wanted to make this video to go through the process that we use at the end of the sale to rebox the books to return them to the warehouse. As you know, around the room, the tables are basically set up by genre. There are boxes and lids underneath each table that match the genres that are on the table. Keep in mind that some tables will have multiple genres, so the boxes under the table are labeled accordingly. It's important that as we rebox the books, that they go into a box with a lid that matches the genre that's in the box. That keeps us from having to resort them once they get back to the warehouse. It's also important as we're boxing the books, and I will go through best practices later, of filling the boxes to the top and filling in any space in the box with packing material. This packing material may be under the table. If not, there will be bags of it around the table or around the room that can be used for that purpose. Once the boxes are full, it's important that we tape the box from side to side. Dispensers will be around the room for this purpose. Do not tape them lengthwise because it will cover up the handles for the book movers. So only pack the box and tape it from left or from the side to side. Also, once we're done with the filling up the boxes, and again, once we're through with each table, there should be all full boxes. If anything's left over, it should only be in one box that would be partially full. If it's only a partial box, don't secure the lid. Leave it as a partial box and let us know what that box is, that it's not full. We may put it on the cafe shelves, or we may put it in a different spot as we're loading it on the truck because it's not a full box. But everything else should be a full box. There should only be one box if it's only partial that's on your table. Once we're done though with all the boxing, there may be leftover lids or boxes after we're through with that. The lid boxes can be packed accordingly like this so that we can take them back to the warehouse. And the boxes should be torn down or broken down. So to do that, there's a lip at the bottom that you can pull up. It's the bottom of the box. And then pull the sides down on either side. And the box will come apart, break down, and fold like this. Then they can be stacked and we can take them back to the warehouse for reuse. That concludes this part of the presentation. I'll now move into best practices for boxing. As we pack the books, it's best to put the spine to the inside where they would be facing other books so that the spines are facing each other and they provide better support. Same thing on this side as we add more books. Put them so that the spine is to the inside towards the other books. And we can use other books putting in the side here to provide more support. Same thing over here. Whoops. Should put these so that the spines are to the inside. Spines are to the inside. Then we can also stack books such as these in. And then we have room, we can put this on up. Not going to have room for that. You may have to organize and try various other sorts for putting the books in to make sure they fit the best they can. But in this particular case, we don't really need to add much stuffing or anything because the books are pretty much to the top and they are basically tight. Okay, here's another example. Again, we're putting the spines to the inside, facing the other books. These in here on the side. Again, spines are to the inside. And again, you may need to experiment as to what's the best way to get the books in. These again on the side. And then we've got a little gap here in the middle. Go ahead and put a book in between there. and that's a good tight fit, and we won't need any stuffing on this side. This, I want to show you an example of DVDs and CDs. They fit very nicely within the banker's boxes. You need to turn them accordingly to make sure they fit the best way, but you can fill the box up to the top, and they do fit nicely within the banker's boxes. Again, using your judgment to either turn them on their sides or on their edges accordingly to fit best in the box. But they do fit very tight, and you can fill up the box. Okay, this is an example of oversized art books, which art books, cookbooks can be problematic, but there are definitely ways to do it, and it may take you some maneuvering to get it the best way, but this is an example. I'm going to put in some large art books, a couple more large art books, and then I'm going to put in some we can stack on the side like this. Actually, they fill up the space very nicely sometimes. Put those in here. Got another one I'm going to put on the side here. It fits, goes to the top. We've got some others here. Again, large size. Put some of these on. Again, you want to utilize the space as best you can and try to get as many in as you can. Got a couple more here that I'm going to put into the side here. And this is a place where I would actually probably put some stuffing in to fill the sides here with this empty spot, and then put the lid on and have it there accordingly. Put the lid on it and then attach it. Again, you may have to put more stuffing in depending on how the books fit, but they are sometimes difficult to do. Sometimes you can put the big books on the bottom the other side, but you just have to work at it to get them as full as you can. Occasionally you'll get lucky and you'll have enough books that you can stack them in the box as such. Again, they stand up very nicely and they fill the space nicely to the top. Again, putting the spines to the inside. These also leave enough room for these books, for smaller books, to go on the side. Stack nicely. Again, putting the spines to the inside. These fill the space very nicely if you get lucky enough to have the types of books that will fill the space. So there you go. Nice and tidy, and they're very tight, and you don't need any kind of filler for these types.
So as you can see, Billy's a pro at boxing books. He's had a lot of experience and knows what we need to do to make them good for storing. Of course, we hope that we will sell all the books and won't really need to pack many up, but so we hope as volunteers, when you're in there, you're really encouraging people to purchase the books. Our goal is really for them to be sold, not to have to take them back and forth to the warehouse. We really appreciate you volunteering, so thank you so much. And now we'll take another few minutes in case you have any other questions. We're happy to answer them as they come in. Karen, do you see if there are any more questions? No questions? Okay, well, thank you all for your time tonight. Thank you for, making the time to listen to this. And thank you in advance for volunteering next week. And if you have questions between now and then, feel free to either, write to like the info email on the FAL website or to write to Kim Buckley, again, the volunteer coordinator. If for some reason you're not going to be able to make it, please reach out to Kim. She's the one who sent you your confirmation email, so you should have her email address. If you have any questions, reach out to us, or you can also ask any questions at the check-in table on the day of registration. Well, it looks like maybe some more stuff came in the chat. I can't. Nope. Okay. And thank you, everyone. We will see you next week.
Thank you.
Recording now.